What's up, party people? Today we're going to be talking about how to rebuild your credit score using trade lines. What was that?
So loud. Jason recorded.
Oh no, it's cool. It's cool. I want that kind of interaction. So if you need to disrupt me or whatever, feel free. I don't mind. I'm sure the people won't either. All right.
Transparency.
Yes. So today we're going to be talking about how to rebuild your credit score using trade lines. We get tons of questions every day from potential clients on, Jason, do you guys sell trade lines? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? I want to inquire on, rebuilding my credit score using trade lines. And what I want to do is I want to educate you all on what trade lines actually are and how you can use them in a legit way so that you can see a credit score increase and, make moves in the future. So if this is something that you feel is a need within your household, please like and share this so that we can get the message out to a lot of people because 9 times out of 10, if you're going through it, someone else is too. Okay. So first, what are trade lines? Trade lines could be different, many different forms of accounts on your credit report. Basically, what they are accounts that report on your credit report payment history. Okay. So a car note can be a trade line. A mortgage can be a trade line. A student loan could be a trade line. A credit card could be a trade line. A line of credit could be a trade line. Anything that's reporting payment history on your credit report is considered a trade line, okay? A lot of people believe that trade lines are these mysterious accounts that only a few people hold, that, you can get on your credit report to help you boost your credit score, but that's not the case. Trade lines are just accounts that report payment history, okay? Now, the thing that a lot of people get confused with is they believe that, the only good trade lines are ones that have payment history attached to them. So these are the kind of trade lines where you want to be careful with because many of times the people who are selling these trade lines do not have the actual authorization to do so. They steal people's accounts and they add you to those accounts as authorized users illegally, which is against the law. So you want to be very careful when dealing with clients or dealing with people who sell these services because, many of times they actually don't have the authorization to do so. And you may find yourself in some kind of Ponzi scheme. So be careful with that, okay? But basically what I want to educate you on is how to use trade lines to boost your credit score. I'm going to be sharing some strategies with you that's going to help you boost your credit score. But first, I got to share this on another page of ours. So please give me a quick second. Let me see here. How's your day? Hopefully a lot of you are having a magnificent day. Where's this information? Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Let me share this really quick. All right. Got that shared. Okay, so a lot of you are looking to rebuild your credit scores, but you don't know how to go about doing that. First, let me educate you on the 5 components that make up a credit score. We have payment history, which is 35% of your credit score. Second, we have credit utilization, which is 30% of your credit score. Third, we have length of history, which is 15%. Fourth, we have credit file mix, which is 10%. And then lastly, we have inquiries. How often are you looking to obtain new credit? That's the remaining 10% of your credit score, okay? So the goal that you always want to have, or the kind of mindset you want to have, is how can I manipulate these 5 components to improve my credit score? A lot of people believe that there's some secret tactic to improving credit score, but really, credit is math. And the more that you influence the math positively, the more you will see a positive gain on your credit score, okay? And basically, I'm going to be sharing with you how to use trade lines so that you can see a credit score increase. Okay, trade lines are accounts that report payment history in your credit report. They could be student loans, card notes, mortgages, credit cards, line of credits, all that good stuff. Okay, but what you want to do is you want to be strategic with this. You want to make sure that if you're going to use a trade line to improve your credit score, which is the only way to do that, you want to make sure that you get a specific trade line that is going to help you influence a couple different components that will have a great impact on your credit score. Okay, so the trade line that I'm talking about right now are credit cards. A lot of people hate credit cards. But honestly, they are the best tool to use. If done correctly, they're the best tool to use to influence positive growth in your credit score. The reason being is they impact two components greatly: payment history and credit utilization. Together, that's 65% of your credit score. And if you can use credit cards effectively, there's no reason why you shouldn't see a nice gain on your credit score outside of everything else. Okay, so the tactic that we're talking about is how to use trade lines to improve your credit scores through the usage of credit cards. There are some people who don't have great credit, of course, and they will try to apply for a credit card, but they won't get approved for that credit card. In this case, we don't want to waste our inquiry and get denied for something that we know we're not going to get. So we're going to be strategic with it. We're going to make sure that we use our inquiries to our advantage, meaning that you're not just going to apply for anything. You're going to apply for something that you know you're going to get approved for. And the kind of credit card that I'm talking about right now is a secure credit card. Secure credit cards are basically cards that are open after you make a deposit. Okay, so basically your credit score isn't that good. A lot of creditors don't trust you because you have the history of maybe not paying your bills on time, or paying your bills on time temporarily, maxing out the card, and then not paying it at all. So you have that stigma about you. And what we want to do is we want to begin to change the way people look at us, okay? And secure cards are great tools to begin to do that, all right? So a secure card, you want to basically make a deposit on. Normally, the deposit is about $200, and from that $200, they're going to give you a line of credit starting at the deposit, okay? Depending on how good the actual company is, they may give you a larger line of credit, but majority of the time is just the deposit. Everybody say what's up to T-Dog.
I know.
Oh no, I don't mind.
He wants,
Yeah, I want people to actually see that we are real, that we're not just behind computers.
Q&A with TNA tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Tomorrow at what time?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. So be here at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Terrence and Alan will be sharing other insight on rebuilding your credit. But anyway, back to the topic. Secure credit cards are the way to go to help begin to rebuild your credit score, because that trade line is pretty close to a guaranteed approval. And depending on which credit card company you go through, you may actually get a guaranteed approval. I'm going to share with you exactly what company to go through towards the end of this conversation. But right now, stay with me, okay? So you're going to make the deposit for your secure card, and we're going to use that secure card strategically, all right? Your credit reports are graded heavily off of recent activity. When credit bureaus look to grade you on how well you're managing your credit, they're going to look at the last 36 months, okay? A lot of people believe that in order to improve their credit scores, they must delete old accounts off their credit report because it's going to have a tremendous impact on their credit score. But in reality, that's not necessarily true, because you're really being graded heavily off of recent activity, okay? So we can really influence or manipulate our recent activity to our advantage. There's no reason why you shouldn't see a greater increase with your credit score. And how you do that is you begin to add positive payment history, as much positive payment history to your credit report as quickly as possible. That way, that is impacting that recent time span of the 36 months. The more recent activity that you have on your credit report that's positive, the greater increases you'll eventually have on your credit score, okay? So first, we're going to use the secure card, okay? That's going to help us rebuild our payment history, because we're going to pay that bill monthly. And before you go into paying bills, you have to, use some of the debt. And what we recommend is that you never use more than 30% of the actual balance, okay? So if you have a credit card for $200, 30% of that is $60. That means you don't want to use any more than $60 of that $200 limit, because once you exceed that threshold, it begins to negatively impact your credit score. Okay, so never exceed more than 30% of your credit card usage. However, we want to build the habit of making sure we pay that credit card off every month. Okay, and the more we do that over time, that's going to add positive payment history to our credit report, because payment history is 35% of your credit score. The more positive payments that you add to your credit report, the better for your credit score. And because we're making sure that we're not exceeding the 30% threshold of our utilization, that's also going to help us positively impact our credit score, because we're not, basically showing the credit bureaus that we're dependent on debt. We're showing credit bureaus that we're responsible, we're not using too much of it, and then we're paying the bill on time. Okay, so that's going to help you add 12 positive payments over a year. Okay, 12 positive payments. Imagine if you were in a position where you were able to add 48 positive payments compared to 12. Which scenario do you think would better impact your credit score? The 12 payments or the 48 payments? If you're with me, you probably guessed the 48 payments, and you are right. 48 payments over a year compared to 12 positive payments over a year will have a greater impact. So the strategy is to get that one secure credit card, but it's deeper. Instead of just having one, over a year, you want to open up 4. Every 3 months, you want to add a credit card to your profile until you have 4, okay? Over a year, open up 4 until you have 4. So that means every 3 months, you're going to open up a new credit card. And depending on what your credit score is, you may have to open up secured credit cards. If you have better credit, you can maybe open up unsecured credit cards. But right now, let's act like your credit score isn't that good, okay? So as we work the initial strategy of having the one credit card, adding positive payments, every 3 months, we're going to add another credit card until we have 4 adding positive payments. And then we'll eventually have 4 credit cards adding 12 positive payments over a year apiece, which will give us 48 positive payments. All right. And you do that for a whole year, you're going to see your credit score go like this. Okay. So that's information that, we usually don't share with people, but I want to help you improve your credit score. And this is a secret strategy that many other people won't share with you. But if you can implement it yesterday, you're going to begin to see results within the first 45 days of having that secure card. Okay. So start off with 1, eventually get to 4, and over a year, that'll be 48 positive payments that we're going to add to our credit report. And if we maintain low credit utilization on all of those credit cards, that's going to help us positively impact your credit score as well. Okay. So basically what we're talking about is how to improve your credit score using trade lines. And in this specific conversation, we're talking about secure credit cards. Secure credit cards are a form of a trade line that add payments to your credit report. And as long as you're adding positive payments and maintaining low credit utilization and implementing that secret strategy that I just shared with you, there's no reason why you shouldn't see a nice gain on your credit score in under a year. Okay, so implement that. One more thing that I want to share with you. A lot of people ask us about CPNs and do we offer those, and I have to tell you that no, we don't. But a CPN is a private number that a lot of celebrities or people who have a higher status in society have to protect themselves. And if you are able to get your hands on one of those, 9 times out of 10, it was done illegally, and I would not suggest that you purchase these because they're actually illegal if you don't get them through the credit bureaus. Okay, so be careful with that. Do not, look into services that offer CPNs or anything like that. And be careful when people offer trade lines, because there's a high chance that they obtain that information illegally, and they may add you to someone's account without their actual authorization. And more specifically, these trade lines that I'm speaking of are aged trade lines. So be careful with that. But if you're able to implement this strategy to your credit profile and do exactly as I say, there's no reason why you should not see a nice credit score increase, okay? So we share a lot of information like this with our clients through the 700 Club. And if you are someone who needs help improving your credit score, we offer a credit repair service where our clients average a 50 to 100 point credit score increase with each credit bureau within just 6 months of our program. So if you're someone who can use gains like that and you want to work with a legitimate company and work with experts who's going to walk you through the actual process and help you improve your credit score, we would love to work with you. My name is Jason White. I'm the CEO and founder of Witness Riches, the 700 Club, and I want to extend this offer to you. So if you reach out to us, give us a call at 419-824-0004 and ask about our credit repair service. I'm going to make sure that the team helps you save $50 on the enrollment fee, or you can visit our website, witnessriches.com/700 Club to learn more about our program. Anyway, hopefully you found this information to be very informative and helpful. And like always, please make sure that you follow us and stay in contact. Thank you all for your time. I'm out. Peace.